Hello, world. Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews from our favorite location, the National Blurred Museum. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
Today we got to see Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you to Grand Shucket for getting us in early. Mad early. At the time of this recording, this movie's not coming out for another 2.5 or 3 weeks. So,
Yes.
yeah. That probably, when we got there, I said, this is a very early screening. That means the studio must have faith in this movie, so it's going to be good. We'll talk about that. So Jovi,
Yes.
I there's something very specific I want to say about this film.
Yes.
But that's the only thing I really need to say. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and dissect it first.
Okay. If you don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is,
I don't think you will after watching this.
you won't after watching this. I mean, besides the fact that you go on a quest and things happen.
Yeah.
Random things happen.
Yeah.
With the roll of a die. Yeah. I was not excited at all for this film, even though I've played Dungeons and Dragons before. And I like the idea of creating a story and the lore and all that. It's fun. I just didn't think this was going to be good, especially when all the previews that you've seen is the movie.
That's true.
And which is upsetting because there were some very funny moments that I was like, oh, I saw that already. Or they leaked a clip or, put a clip out that was funny. It's like, yeah. Besides that, I was watching it and I was like, okay, I'm a little bored, but this is funny. I'm bored again. That was funny. I'm bored again. That was funny. I fell asleep for 2 minutes or a minute or 30 seconds. Have no idea how long I fell asleep for, but we were still in the same scene. That was funny. It was this is not the take your mom to go see it movie. This is a movie that my mom would watch and think is hilarious and would enjoy it very much because it has action, it has some funny characters. It has action and it has some funny characters. The story I gave two shenanigans about. And then it didn't necessarily feel like a real Dungeons and Dragons quest. Especially how much they jumped around.
Yeah.
So
What did you think of the cast?
Just seemed like they went in a room and they were like, who do we have on the payroll here at Paramount? Or Universal. I'm just trying to think of movies that these characters have been in that they just it's like 3 studios that came together and was like, hey, I'm gonna give you one of our best. That's what it felt like. It felt like, you can have you can have her. You can have him. He's done well TV. Here you go.
I see.
I
thought Chris Pine was okay. He always tries. That's why I like him as an actor.
But his character is usually the lead.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, not just the lead, but like a leader. And like, that's just the same. You expect that from him, right?
Hey, he's the lead man.
Michelle Rodriguez.
I'm glad to see her in Out. I don't remember the last movie I saw her in that wasn't
Fast and the Furious. But I
think it was the movie where she played a man at the same time.
The tough and gruff character.
Yeah.
I was, as soon as I saw her, I was like, man, I don't want that for her. I don't want that to be the only thing that like speaks to her career, especially like now that she's getting older. Because like Vin Diesel looks horrible. She still looks really great. So I was like, I feel like she has some longevity in her career. And then I guess this movie, she was the comic relief, which she usually isn't. So I guess that was a difference.
Yeah, she was funny.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Drax.
I was about to say just like Drax.
It was a Drax character. Come on, y'all. It was funny, yes, but then that's what I got, and I was like, ooh, you did it because that is the draw. That's comedy now. This dry, just trying to make sense of everything comedy.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, like not understanding basic, like saying things unironically.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Okay.
What else? It's like, I don't have the negatives I already said. Like, I just didn't like the story. I was bored anytime they really started talking, which is sad. They just like we're drawing out the conversations way too long. Like, if this is D&D, like we should have been getting. I'm trying to think of other movies that have done it better. Jumanji's done it better, where just random shit happens. I'm trying to work on that cursing on. One day we'll be monetized. Yeah, so that's what I was expecting. This kind of was like, we're gonna give you a full story, and it's about love and family.
Was it though?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, I laughed my ass off.
He did.
Because there were some hilarious moments, and I don't want to ruin any of them.
Yeah. So that's the thing. There are two things I'm going to say. Number one, this movie was written by someone I actually really enjoy, John Francis Daly.
Mm-hmm.
He played a character on a show called Bones that was out a while ago.
Okay.
Back when it was on Fox with House and all that, like in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't actually care for him in that show. He wrote Horrible Bosses and he wrote the movie Game Night, both of which are hilarious.
Yeah, way better.
So this movie it had its funny moments, like Joey said.
Yeah.
I saw all of them, on whether it be on a clip on Twitter or the trailer.
Yeah.
I saw the funny moments. So when it happened in the movie, I was like, that would have been good if I hadn't seen it. So that's the first thing. I feel like the marketing for this movie kind of ruined some of the fun, even though there are still some laughs to be had.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem I had with this, and so like Joey said, I should say, he didn't want to see this.
No.
This is one I dragged him to, and unfortunately, it was not another Puss in Boots. It wasn't a hidden gem. So there's a show on Amazon Prime. It's an animated show called The Legend of Vox Machina. Very similar to this. Ragtag group of people come together. They go on a quest. It's very adult. It's not for children. It is very adult oriented. It has very famous voice actors, including the voice actor for Ellie, who we just talked about yesterday.
Oh, awesome.
So, and they took their characters from Dungeons and Dragons and made the show about, like, the quest they went on. So I say all that to say this. I like the characters. I didn't hate the story that they were in. And the action was just mid. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't good. It wasn't great.
Yeah. That's
it's stuff you've seen before.
If you like action, you're gonna
So my point is, I think the problem is though, this would have worked a lot better as a TV show, as a series. Because like Joey said, the movie for the first two full acts, the movie would say, okay, we need to get this thing. And then literally the next scene, like less than a second later, the scene would just jump to them on their way to doing that thing. Then they say, we need to see this person. Then the movie would jump to them seeing this person. No scenes were given time to breathe.
No.
I don't need to see you like walking through the forest or whatever, but it just seemed like the movie was just ready to just take you from here to here to here to here so quickly. And it's like, it kept jumping all over the place. And that could work on a TV show where, you say, we need to get this thing. Then it ends. Then the next episode, you show them on their way to getting that thing.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of how, that's why I mentioned Vox Machina. It's kind of like that. Like, I don't know if me and Joey sat through like one of their seasons for a full 2 hours, I don't think I would enjoy it as much as I do watching it on Amazon Prime. So that's, I think, is the biggest problem with this movie, because like, the movie's not even that long. It's less than 2.5. It might be just over 2 hours, but it was a bad time. I looked at my phone just because I was
Oh
like, "Yo, we
no.
are still in here."
Yeah, it was it was dragging for me.
A lot of stuff happens in
Yeah.
this movie,
Yeah.
and it's just like a lot of different quick things. Like we have to escape from this place. We have to get this thing. We have to find this person. We have to get this thing. We have to get this spell. Oh, we have to go save this person. We have to find out what this person's doing. And there's so many little plots happening that are set up and resolved so quickly in succession.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the movie is. It's not really a. I mean, there's an overarching story, like something that's, I guess, motivating them to do it. But, I mean, that's kind of put on the back burner because they have to keep doing all these other things. So I think that's the biggest problem with this movie.
Yeah.
And I think that to say, I mean, it's funny because, like I said, I actually, when I think about it, I liked a lot that it had to offer. And I could watch this again, I would just cut it off after a certain part and then come back to it.
No,
but that's it.
I completely agree, man. I laughed. I was laughing because you're in this made up world, but it's like it's just these random things happening.
Yeah.
Like
Some stuff was genuinely hilarious.
yeah, and like when you have a whole theater. When you have a whole theater like belly laughing, like you did something right.
Yeah.
Like so, like it didn't hit like those other two films that you mentioned because I could watch those right now. I could.
Oh yeah.
I
The
could turn-
comedies, yeah, those I could turn those on anytime.
Right.
I love.
I
those
don't.
movies.
So for me personally, I don't think I could turn this on and watch it like all the way through.
Oh, I mean, yes, what I said. I couldn't
Yeah,
watch. I don't think
it's-
I'd go to specific scenes if I were.
I probably would fall asleep on it just because when there is dialogue, it's not. It's not. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. It wasn't fulfilling at all. Like it was just like, I understand what you're trying to do and what you guys need to do. Now let me see it, not jump like Sam was saying. Let me actually see it more than y'all talking it completely out. It was like, but when you're playing a game of D&D, someone is saying what you're doing. Oh, they walk through the forest, you follow, you stop. You ran into so and so, roll and then see what happens. I guess that's what they were trying to go for. Where it's like, I'm going to explain everything and then we're going to jump to right when it happens.
Okay.
I'm trying to give it a benefit of the doubt because I enjoyed the comedy aspect, and then the action was like
It was
said,
okay.
It was mid, like
Yeah, that's
very even fighting scenes. Like I'm like, yo, y'all, this is some of the slowest choreography
I know, y'all. Like,
I've ever seen. Well, not ever. I've seen in, I would say, good since we've been doing this.
yeah, I think
Probably the slowest.
honestly, this is. I mean, mid is a word I've heard in a lot of MCU movies. This would probably compare to one of the more mediocre MCU movies.
Yeah.
Not to say again, it's not horrible, but it's just it's something. It's just something to watch. It could have been better.
You said it yourself. It was TV show. That was TV show fighting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's some actually good TV shows.
No, it's not nothing great. Was that like Daredevil or something?
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. No.
But I mean, yeah. So
I
again,
still haven't seen that in film. Like,
yeah. No, I mean, so I guess to wrap this up, I think again it was just an okay. I'm gonna give this movie a 3 just because it was again it was mid. That's the definition of mid.
before the movie was over, I knew what I was giving it. And it was a 3.
Mm.
I was like, you guys know I take off for watchability, and it was like, it's no fault to the movie, but they ruined it with the advertising.
The marketing
The
department.
marketing department should not have cut those trailers like that, because there was things that happened. I was like, I didn't laugh because I had already seen it. But I really need you guys to watch this film so that we can talk about this. Something that happened twice. I almost cried laughing the second time. Like I'm on the verge of busting out laughing right now. I'm holding it in. And I'm gonna laugh when we turn this camera off.
Yeah, the thing that happened at the beginning and the
And
end.
the end. Because now that's comedy writing right there. please. Please.
Okay.
We gotta get off.
Okay. All right, y'all. Anyway, Dungeons and Dragons. When it comes out, let us know what you guys think right down there. Appreciate you as always, and until next time, we out.
Deuces.